With regard to monetary policy, I think we're going to see some very interesting things happening in the coming years. Of course, in the short term, we all are looking at, is the government going to rein in the amount of credit expansion? I think there is more willingness to rein in that very rapid credit growth. But more structurally, there is going to be a very interesting process that we know has started already. China wants to change the regime of monetary policy. China wants to move to a more interest-based monetary policy, to a more market-friendly, market-oriented form of monetary policy. And so that's why we have seen these steps being taken on the taking away the restrictions on interest rates, also other technical steps that the PBOC, China's central bank, is taking in that direction of letting the interest rates play a larger role, and that will eventually then also lead to a more flexible currency. China's currency at the moment is still pretty much in the hands of the central bank. It's very much the intention that in a few years the currency will move much more freely without being controlled by policymakers. So over and above these, macro policy related steps towards tightening the fiscal policy, but in terms of changing the regime, changing the framework, I think the next steps will be the introduction of a deposit insurance scheme, which experts feel is necessary before the government removes the cap on deposit rates. Everybody agrees that removing the cap on deposit rates, it's really the next big step forward, but experts also feel that you cannot really do that unless you have given people that put their money in the banks have this comfort, have this guarantee that if something goes wrong with that bank because they compete themselves into a loss, that there is some safety net in terms of a deposit insurance scheme. The reform of the hukou system is one of the key planks of that, longer-term movement towards a better urbanization strategy in China. China has, of course, seen a lot of urbanization, but often that has taken the form of people moving, into a dormitory type of urban existence where they live in say, a dormitory, save 90% of their income, send that back to the countryside. The new urbanization strategy of Prime Minister Louis Kuijs is very much about letting those migrants lead a more proper, a fuller urban life, and for that it is essential that they can reap the benefits of having access to public services. They can send their kids to school, they can go to the doctors and things like that. And so for that, the hukou reform is crucial in the sense that the hukou reform will make a change in how people are entitled to those public services. And so the hukou reform cannot happen by itself because it will have to come alongside fiscal reforms that will channel more money to local governments, but also actually give those local governments stronger incentives to actually provide those public services. But so this hukou and fiscal reform nexus is a crucial but also very difficult part of that strategy towards the new urbanization.